Good morning, Mr. Abel.
Jeffrey, thank you. Same to you, son. What's up today?
Hey, just actually, it stopped raining a little bit. There's a little
Come
bit of
on.
I can't say sun, but it's brighter. It's brighter outside.
Come on.
So that's all I got for you.
Isn't there a song that never rains in California?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Or maybe it's Southern California.
Yeah, I'm definitely not in Southern California.
Yeah, well, it's not raining here today, man. In fact,
I'm,
you know
I'm
what?
somewhere,
Today we're actually
somewhere in the
recording
Western
this.
Hemisphere.
We're recording this. Well, actually, we're recording this on a Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days from now, we're supposed to hit 100 down here in the desert.
Ouch! Isn't that about the time you start packing the car?
Not me. No. That's when I start going. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm out there on the grass courts and I'm hitting my serves and I'm doing my sprints and I'm looking at the phone and I'm going, stay at 100, damn it. No, I go, no one else is doing this.
Right.
I'm the only idiot out here doing this. And for some reason that makes me, I don't know, makes me feel something.
Yeah.
Something good.
There you go. Yeah.
I used to, back when I really started kind of getting into training, which I guess was more in the 50s, early 50s, not the 1950s, but
1850s.
Yeah, that's right. Back when I was 22. But I would say, anyway, so I'd go to the Brooklyn Tennis Club, I'd play my 2 or 3 sets, and then I'd go to the locker and I'd put on the running shoes, and I'd run the 1 mile from the BTC over to Memorial Stadium, over at Cal. And back then, that was before the football program, before the Jeff Tedford days, where it wasn't the program wasn't that great. So the stadium be wide open. Once Tedford came in there, then, they shut everything down because they thought everyone would be spying on them. And I'm going, look, man, come on. What am I going to do? Anyway, but I'd go over there, Jeff, and I would run those steps. And there are 75 rows.
Nice.
75 rows. And you know that stadium. It's football only. It's a bowl, one of the old classic football bowls. And I would start on the east side, and I'd run the sections, and then you'd get around. And finally, when you got to the west side, you'd run to the top, and you'd look out over Berkeley, over the Bay, over to San Francisco, the Golden Gate, and I go, yep, I'm the only one doing this today.
Yep.
And then, I guess I could do that, but I couldn't play my 3 sets of the BTC run over. I could maybe play a couple sets of the BTC, ride my bike over, but I think they've got it locked up now to where you can't get in anymore. So anyway.
Yeah, that's too bad. But that's, before we get into the subject, those types of things when you feel like you're doing that extra work, and doing it on a regular basis, not just, once every 2 weeks, but actually, doing it that 3-4 times a week, that little extra work, and that place that you're by yourself. No one else, like you said, no one else is doing this.
Right.
No one else is doing this with me. No one else is doing this today.
Right.
No one else is doing this. And I tell you what, that's, it builds confidence in yourself, because tennis is a solo game. When you're finally on the court and you have to figure this out, unless you're playing dubs, of course, but it's individual. You're out there and you got to figure out a way to hang and to motivate yourself and to
pick up your phone if it starts buzzing.
And just decline and just move it off to the side.
Just throw it out the window.
It's just the decision. I'm going to run the extra step. That's what I just did. I'm going to run the extra step, not pick up the phone. So, those things, I think for everybody, whether it's running steps, whether it's getting in the gym, whether it's 20 minutes on the bike, no matter what that extra something is, I think sometimes it's intangible, the confidence that it builds in you until you're actually on the court, and you just walk with a little more upright. You're fit, you feel solid, and it's a confidence builder.
Yeah. Well, and again, last episode we referenced one of our online webinar students that we were coaching with yesterday. And, one of the things we asked him was on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your fitness level?
Right.
And he said a 6. And I said, well, what does 6 mean? Well, 6 means, I'm pretty quick and nimble for maybe a set, but then my endurance is not great, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, look, if we did nothing else than just made you right now, you had to make fitness as your foundation for your game. Because this guy does play tournaments. And so, guys, I'm telling you, man, if you're playing tournaments, different than leagues. Because leagues, if you're only, let's say you play once a week. Well, once a week, maybe you can get away with a 7 or a 6 out of 10. Because you're only playing that one match.
Right.
But if you're playing tournaments where you got to go out there and really have to compete for X number of days in a row,
right?
Or even some of these league things where your team qualifies for the districts or the sectionals or even the nationals, that can be a 3-day event, man. I mean, 3 or 4 day event where you better have fitness as your foundation.
Right. And don't sometimes you have to play 2 matches in a day.
That's right.
So I think that let's just jump into that math equation really quick here, because definitely when playing the senior nationals, this becomes a reality check, and the reality check is this: if you look at it, okay, let's say it's a 64 draw, right? And so the reality is that if it's the senior nationals, you're playing 2 out of 3. There's no third set super tiebreak for the third set. You're playing a full third set. So the reality is 64, 32, 16 quarters. Okay, so let's say you make it to the quarters. That's 4 days in a row. Potential is 3 sets. So that's 12 sets in 4 days. When was the last time you did that? I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Now, okay, guess what? I'm also going to play dubs. And that starts on the second day.
Right.
And that has 3 days in a row of potentially 3 sets each. Okay, wait a second. Oh, wait a minute. That's 9. Okay, is that 21 sets in 4 days? When was the last time you played 21 sets in 4 days? Never. Right? So the fitness aspect of it, I mean, we just can't stress that enough, that the reality is that no one really looks at that, at the numbers and crunches and looks at it and goes, wow, okay, we've got the 3-5 nationals coming up, or districts up in Sacramento, if you're here in California, and it's going to be like playing tennis on the sun for 3 days. And, we have 2 matches on Friday and then one on, and if we win that one, then we do, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you're on the court. You got 4 matches that weekend over the span of 3 days, potentially 12 to 15 sets, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
That's right.
And yeah, people collapse.
Yeah, no.
they can't, they play 2 matches and now the heat gets to them, whatever. So the reality is you really got to look at the groundwork there and decide, how do I survive a tournament?
Yeah.
I mean, how do I do it?
Well, just like we told our guy yesterday, is that if you don't make fitness your foundation for your tennis game, whether you're only a doubles player, I mean, just like you said, if you're playing senior leagues and your team does well, and you go to some place like you said on the sun, that's Sacramento, California, or you go somewhere in the South in the summer,
right,
where you got extreme heat in terms of hot and humid.
98% humidity.
If you're playing, I mean, you might play three or 4 doubles matches in 2 days.
Yeah.
And so if fitness is not your foundation, and we told him, and what we were doing with him is customizing a playbook for him for singles.
Right.
Which, by the way, is one of the services we're offering. If you want to do that, just shoot us an email at letusknow@goldballhunting.com. But we just said, look, this playbook that we're putting together for you, it won't work if you're a 6 out of a 10 fitness.
Right.
It's not going to work. I mean, on paper it looks great, and if you're buying into the mindset, cool. But if you can't execute this thing for more than 40 minutes, what are we doing? What are we doing? So look,
minute 41, it starts to get ugly.
Yeah. So look, here's what I'm going to do, Jeff, right now. I'm going to say that the topic we had in mind today is tomorrow's topic.
Is tomorrow.
Right.
We're deep into this, right?
I am so fired up about this right now. Here's the other thing. And I played a doubles match yesterday in the afternoon. It was pretty hot out here, but that's not the point. The point is that I've been getting I went to Houston, a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, got injured. I had to retire in my singles match in the quarters. Very, very disappointing. And then went to the trainer afterwards, and because I had this lower left back issue, and he said, yeah, it's not skeletal, it's muscular. Here's what it is. And he stretched me out. And that afternoon, I got out there. I was okay for doubles. We squeaked by, won that. That was the quarters. Next day, I had him stretch me out again for half an hour. We went out. I felt pretty good in the semis. I mean, I felt like I could have almost played singles that day. And then the next day, when we won the semis, the next day for the finals, he gave me a 30-minute stretch before the match. And unfortunately, my guy decided he had to default because he was hurt. So we couldn't play the finals. The point is that I came back believing that if I really had someone stretch me out, which I can't do what they can do.
Right.
I can't do it on my own. I can't deliver that kind of pain. So I've decided for 30 days, and I started last week, and I've had, what's today? Thursday. I've had 2 sessions this week. I've got one when we're done, and then I've got another one tomorrow. That'll be a total of 8, maybe 7 or 8 sessions of getting stretched out, right? The hips, the glutes, right, the hamstrings, the quads, the calves, the shoulders. I went out, Jeff, yesterday, played doubles. I hit a couple of shots I've never hit in my life before. I mean, I've been set up before to hit the same shot, but just didn't have the release, right?
Right.
Didn't have the balance, didn't have the, and I went, oh my, and the guys kind of looked at me and they said, who are you? And I just said, I don't know, man. I mean, all of a sudden, Jeff, I got to some balls yesterday I've not gotten to since I was maybe 25. I swear to you.
Wow.
I mean, maybe that's an exaggeration, 25. But my point is that, guys, if you're listening to this and you're starting to believe that fitness should be the foundation for your game, and in fact, even if you want to really change something about your game, that's fine. But you've got to make fitness your foundation, and part of the fitness regime program has got to be getting stretched out. Gotta be.
Yep. Got to increase the stretch, increases the range of motion, increases your ability to be smooth during the hit. Are you trying to do something that physically you just can't do right now? You think, oh, I got to turn, I got to do this, I got to finish more here, I got to get more, coiled up. Well, maybe the reality is that you just can't.
Yeah.
You think you can,
right,
but you can't, because you don't even realize that you have impingements and restricted range of motion.
That's right.
I know for sure I do, and that's going to be something that I focus on when I get back to Michigan. I'm going to be I'll be out there at the Western Lawn Tennis Club, and I'm kind of in my head right now. I'm kind of formulating a whole thing through the end of September, and it's going to be like the Jeff Jacklich experiment. I'm going to be in this situation where I'm going to be able to focus a portion of the day, not a big portion, just some fitness habits. Every day, and so
it could be the JJ project. It could be the Jeff Jacklich project. It could be the Jacklich project.
Right, and the long term motivation here is that like you just said, the National 60 Hard Courts was just there at Mission Hill. So I'm already looking there. This is kind of where I'm going to lead to with this. Is that's going to be the goal, is to hit the scene that tournament and come in firing on all cylinders. Katie
bar the doors. Is that how it goes?
Guns a-blazing, right? So anyway, I think today definitely for everybody out there listening, it's just fitness can literally elevate your game a half to a full level, depending on your tennis experience. The more tennis experience you have, and your fitness is an issue, I think literally you could elevate your game a whole half a click by just getting yourself into some really good, not Navy SEAL fitness, but some good solid fitness where you've dropped anywhere from 10, 15, 20 pounds. You cardio, you've kind of hit all the marks, the stretching and all that. Your game's going to elevate without question, without touching a ball.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, and look, I mean, you can, and the fitness component is also based on the kitchen, on getting the kitchen right, because you cannot outwork a bad kitchen. There's no way.
No.
You cannot do that. So, well, look, Jeff,
you got to set yourself up for success in the kitchen too, right?
Absolutely.
You got to just go in the cupboard, start pulling boxes and things, and just in the trash.
That's right.
Just take them out, say goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye, and just for me, in the food part of it, the way I first kind of made an adjustment in my own diet was simply, how do I feel after I eat this? I tend to feel kind of sluggish and kind of slow and sleepy after I do that. Okay, so let's just make a different choice. I wasn't denying myself anything. I just found it. I decided that feeling good after I eat was more important than the desire to eat that food. And then now I still I still do that very heavily. I don't eat certain things very often, and just because I know how I'm going to feel after I eat it. So okay, no big deal. I don't feel deprived at all.
Cool.
So anyway.
Cool. That's good. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Hanging in, maybe. Little passionate on this fitness thing.
Yeah.
So
little impromptu subject.
There, yeah. Well, listen. If you want to get on a private free coaching call with us, if fitness is maybe something you want to talk about, how you could do anything from losing weight to starting to eat better to get quicker, we've got some ideas for you to help you do that. The way to do that is go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, and you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler. You get to cherry pick the date and time for our private call. Jeffrey, the microphone is yours.
All right. Please like us, share us. Please subscribe, and let us know what you think down below. We'd love to hear your comments.
Outstanding. Outstanding as always. Come on now, guys. Get out there today, 100 degrees or not. Work your butt off. Maybe help someone else work their butt off and make it a spectacular day. Jeff, let's do this again tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it.